All praise, all praise. Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. Get us pulled up here. All right, got us pulled up here. So we ain't got no PowerPoint today. We just got scripts today. Just straight scriptures today. Y'all can't hear me in the Zoom? I'll be so sick of the Zoom sometimes. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get you. All right, y'all can hear me now in the Zoom. Y'all can see it now in the Zoom. All right, bet. All right, so today we're gonna speak on lukewarmness. That's what we're gonna talk about, right? So just understanding that, Yah's not the author of confusion. You know, he can't dwell somewhere where there's divided hearts. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, he's always required that there be a separation, you know, um, a, a, you know what I'm saying? Just a physical separation of if you're for Yah versus being of this world, right? So, first verse want to go to, we're going to go Revelations 3, 15 and 16. All right, so starting at verse 15, it reads, I know thy works, thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. All right. So we have to understand that this rebuke here is not against ignorance, right? So this person is not the warm spirit. You're not ignorant in that case, right? It's contradiction, right? So lukewarmness is not about a lack of faith, right? So it's not a person who doesn't have faith. It's counterfeit faith, right? It's a faith that twists a little bit, right? You know what I mean? It lets you do what you want to do while still claiming faith, right? That's where that lukewarmness kind of comes in, right? So it speaks righteousness, but what it produces is disobedience, right? And we can see, the Most High doesn't deal with that, right? Like he says it himself, and that really goes back from the beginning, right? So if we go back to, let's go over here, we're gonna go Leviticus 18. I'm gonna start verse 20. Let's start at verse 28. I'll start at 27. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. Let the land spew not you out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. So we see here, even the land is going to spew you out for being lukewarm, right? So ever since the beginning, that's always been the standard, right? That you can't be lukewarm in this thing, right? Going in and out of idolatry. Like he says here, they would all the other nations were serving other gods, doing all those other things, they were kicked out. And yeah, same thing, right? So what were, if you ask yourself then like what were some of the things, what I'm saying, that they were doing that could get you kicked out, right? Go no further than verse 20. It'll kind of start telling us something. You can really start at verse 1. All this is stuff you can't do, but we'll just go to 20 so you can just kind of see some of the things that would classify as idolatry, lukewarmness, right? Going after other gods, that sort of thing, right? So, verse 20, moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her. Thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of Yah. I am Yahuwah. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination, right? So we see here all these different acts and different things that will classify as abominations and that will put you in a position to be, if you're trying to do any of these things or partake in any of these things while still claiming that, you love Yah, you lukewarm, right? So this just shows us from the beginning, Most High, he wasn't dealing with lukewarmness. You had to be all in from the beginning, right? So we're gonna go over here to, and I can't see the chat, so if anybody's saying anything in the chat, or if there's a comment or something like that, somebody else will have to. All right. Next verse we're gonna go to here. Let's see here. We're gonna go to. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go here to Ezekiel. We're gonna go 33rd verse, the 33rd chapter, verse 31. All right. So we come here. It reads, And they come unto thee as a people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, and they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goes after their covetousness. Right. This should really be the definition of lukewarmness, right? Saying you're loving with your mouth, but with your heart and your actions, you're going and doing something else, right? You're doing what you want to do, right? So you're really out here acting like you're of Yah, but your fruits ain't showing that, right? It's showing something else, right? You'll say, you know, you tell somebody, hey, I'll pray for you. And that was your prayer right there. Like that was you. You telling them you was praying for them was your prayer. That was it, right? So saying we'll do something but not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, even telling, saying claiming you love your neighbor as yourself, right? So you say you love your neighbor as yourself, but you see your neighbor calling. You look at that phone, you be like, he gonna want something. I call him back. He want something. Yeah, they may need something. Answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? Help. All right. Okay. Go ahead, King. Nah, yeah, nah, that was definitely that was good. That was good. For sure, for sure. But because it ties, like you said, right into that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High, He would rather you better off just if somebody asks you to pray for them, just say if you ain't gonna do it, just say no. I ain't gonna do it. That's better. You cold at that point. You just cold. Just be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it, cause I'm gonna forget. If you don't do it right there, just tell them no. You know what I'm saying? You save yourself. You put yourself in a better position. I just didn't do it. Alright. So next verse here, right? So really King segue us right into it here. Go over Sirach 2 and 12 here, right? And it reads, woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goes that goeth two ways, right? So showing there again, there's no harmony between truth and lies, no fellowship between obedience, disobedience, right? When I first read it, I was like, so you just automatically a sinner if you go two ways? Yes. Pick a side. Yeah, you automatically become a sinner just because you won't make a decision, right? Because you're trying to do both. You're trying to be of the world, not of the world, right? So going along with that, we all know this verse right here, right? Go over to James. It's that James 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, right? So think about it, right? You're trying to walk in darkness and in light at the same time. Like it's just gonna cause you to be unstable. You don't know how to function for real. Like this is a wild example, but just think about it, right? Imagine you saying, yeah, I'm keeping the law, or I'm striving to keep the law and commandments, but still eating pig, still eating pork, still eating shrimp. Like, wait, I thought you was striving to keep the law, but you eating pig, you're not keeping the law, right? So it's one of those things like you're unstable. That don't even make sense, right? When you put it when you make it like that obvious, right? It don't go, right? Like you can clearly see that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I wear fringes, but I don't believe in Yahusha. Then you really didn't read the Old Testament because it speaks of him. That don't make sense, right? You know what I'm saying? It's you're being unstable. Like you haven't clearly thought this all the way out, right? You won't make a decision, right? Let's go over here. First Kings 18:21 here for us. And it reads, and Elijah came to all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If ye be Yahuwah, if Yahuwah be Elohim, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answer him not a word. Right? So you see right here, like Elijah drew the line in the sand. Like, what you gonna do, y'all? Like, Are you for Yah? Are you for Baal? You know what I'm saying? In that case, there, are you for Yah? Are you for Yah? Are you for the world? You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it comes down to for real. It's Yahweh or the highway for real. Whatever you want to put on the other side, right? It's on the other side. You know, no matter what it is, put it over there. Call it that. If it ain't of Yah, it's over there, right? So, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta understand that you can't walk in between these things, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to choose, right? Because, you know what I'm saying? People say, like, well, Baal, they tell you to sacrifice children. I ain't trying to sacrifice my child, but Easter's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like hiding eggs for the kids, right? No, wrong, right? It's no either or. I mean, I'm gonna still do Passover though. No, what? You did Easter and Passover? What did you do? Like, just pick a side. Pick a side. Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So we see here when Elijah drew this line in the sand, right? You, you know what I'm saying? It's not a situation where like you don't know what comes with choosing the wrong side. It's all there, right? You know what happens, right? So if we pick up verse 36 down here, story tells us what happens here. So, and it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Yahuwah, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahuwah Elohim, and that thou hast turned their back again. Then the fire of Yahuwah fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and said, Yahuwah, he is our Elohim. Yahuwah, he is our Elohim. And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let no one of them escape. And he took them and brought them down to the brook Kishon and slew them there. So you see what's going to happen, right? We all know what's going to happen. You choose a side, right? It's your choice. You get to make the choice, but make it, right? Pick, because one way is going to lead you to life with Elijah, and the other way you with them 450 that died, right? Took them all down. And like this is in there specifically for a reason, right? It says, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape, right? Making sure you know that by picking that wrong decision, no one escapes. Let none of them escape. All of them going in the lake. If you choose wrong, you're going in the lake. There is no other option. You know what I'm saying? So just understand it. When you draw that line, you can't, you know what I'm saying? No repick. This ain't basketball, right? We don't pick our five and hey, we lost this game, but hey, repick. Nah. You chose wrong, buddy. It's your last five. That was your last game. Right? So another one, right? Let's go. Somebody just posted what we got there. Zechariah 13 and 8. Bo posted in chat. And it shall be that throughout all the land declares Yahuwah that two-thirds thereof are cut off and die, and one-third is left therein. So you already listen. Just off that alone, right there, tells only a third even gonna listen. You only really talking to a third, so you already know that, right? Hmm. Let's go here. We're gonna go to Joshua 24:15. All right, and it says, and if it seem, all right, actually, let's start at 14. Now, therefore, fear Yahuwah and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods of your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye Yahuwah. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahuwah, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in which land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah, right? So again, you see Joshua. He drawing the line in the sand, right? Boom, no. Hey, pick a side now. We're getting this promised land, and I need to know right now, who are you with? Are you with the one that gave us this promised land? Are you still serving them gods out of Egypt? You know what I'm saying? Who are you with? Mm, mm. Next verse here. Let's go. Matthew 6 and 24 here. And it reads, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yah and Mammon, right? So we know this, all right? We keep hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You can't do both. You can't do both, right? Right? And to attempt to do both, right? You know what I'm saying? You tell yourself, oh, it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. It's not. It's betrayal. It's what it is. It's betrayal. One side must be abandoned. Like you gotta let one go for the other, right? You cheating on one with the other. It's like having two. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one. I'm not even gonna go to there. But like I said, it's a balance in that. Yeah, that's a can of worm I ain't trying to open, right? So you can't do that, right? You got to choose. You gotta choose. You can't have two masters, right? Mhm. Here we go, right here. Let's go. Proverbs. We're just gonna go past it. Proverbs 10:9, right here, right? So it reads, he that walk uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known, right? So right here, you know that like it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? That crooked path eventually is gonna show. So even if you are lukewarm right now and you getting away with it, you know, say, or you feel like you're getting away with it, you know what I'm saying? You feel like, oh, you know, no one knows I do this or this. Most High know. You know what I'm saying? So even if somehow you were able to walk on this earth and be lukewarm and nobody knew here, right? No, none of us ever knew, right? Say somehow you pulled it off, right? But what's gonna happen is you gonna get to the kingdom and you ain't getting in. So then you did all that faking for nothing, right? So it's like, why fake it? Because if it, you know what I'm saying, if you're not gonna get in, if you're not gonna get the reward in the end for putting the work in, why fake it? That really don't make sense. Like I'm a logical kind of person. Like logic would tell me that if I'm gonna fake it, I should just not do it, right? If I'm gonna do it, then I need to do it all the way so that I can get the reward for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes no sense to sit there and play the part. You're not gonna get the reward. Then you did it for nothing. You did it for nothing. That's that's so think about it. That's really that feeling of being told I never knew you, right? That's really being like imagine you thought you played the part, you know what I'm saying? You put on a good show and then you get there, you see people walking in that you talk stuff to that you told. I remember I helped him get on the path. Ah, he's going in. And he look at you, I never knew you. Oh, what? The way it would hurt to feel it. I could imagine. You know? So we know you can't fake it, right? Let's go, James. Let's go to James 2:17 here. And it reads, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone. Right? Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. All right. I mean, that's basically that's basically them saying, "Hey, your light too bright, man. Get out of here with that." That's what they're telling you with that statement. Ah, your light too bright. Yeah, you doing too much. You're doing too much. We just wanna sit here and chill. We ain't trying to do that right now. That's what that's saying, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nah, exactly. So really, by them saying that, you literally contradicting scripture, right? Okay, cool. Let's just go against the scripture to do what you said. Some people run from the light because it exposes darkness. Exactly. Yep. That's it right there. That's it. They don't want their darkness shown, man. And you come around being all bright. Here we go. James 2:17. All right. So it says, even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. Lukewarmness, right? That's another way of saying you're lukewarm, right? Because you will say, I got faith in Yah, I got faith in Yahusha, but then not doing the work he said to do, right? Know all the precepts, got all the scripts, right? Precept upon precept, but won't lend a helping hand upon a helping hand, right? Know what I mean? So I'm I'm talking to myself too, because this is one of the things that like we got to do the work too. We can't just have all the faith and ain't got no and ain't done no works, right? Like for myself, right? Let's say I got faith. I ain't been on no works. I ain't gave out no food. Ain't got for no jackets. It's cold here in Georgia. Being lukewarm. I have to be honest about that. Dre, you being lukewarm. And the worst part about it, they're in my garage. I just cleaned my garage. I saw the jackets. They're right there. Like, that's terrible. That's really bad. I have it right there. Like, just put them in the car, Dre. When you see somebody, you riding all the time. I'm always in the car. When I see somebody that's look a little light on a jacket, stop, hand them a jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to be real with myself and say, like, that's lukewarm. That's lukewarm. That's bad. You know, we have to be willing to, you know, check ourselves, right? If our faith is good, what do I? Okay, so I got good faith. What my deeds look like, right? Let me tie it along with it. Let's go first. Let's go first. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. For sure. And then but that part too, like, what we worrying about with the other person? We don't even don't worry about what they could do. Their car looks like that because they started where they were supposed to start. They put the jacket in the car and was handing them out that way. That's why now you see them, you know what I'm saying, giving out food to thousands. You know what I'm saying? You see them really helping folks on a bigger level, and it intimidates you because we didn't start when we were supposed to start. They didn't start there. That's not how it starts. You know what I'm saying? Do the works, Rock. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. So, you know, like you're saying, sometimes you have to be that person that's doing the stirring. You know what I'm saying? Helping someone else out to be able to get back in this truth, right? So right here, where was I at? 1 Corinthians 13 and 1 right here. So, though I speak with the tongues of angels and of men, and have not charity, I become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy, understand all mysteries, all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains and have no charity, I am nothing. All right. So, what I want to say here to that, I want everybody to catch. Okay, this is a big one right here. Don't let this truth keep you from the kingdom. Don't let this truth keep you from the kingdom. Don't let the fact that we've learned all this knowledge, we know who we are, you know what I'm saying? We know when the Shabbat really supposed to be kept. We know all this knowledge, but now we're not doing no works. Or we're doing it, but we're not doing it right, right? You have no charity, right? So charity, that's generosity, that's love, right? So you could be out here doing it, right? So if you say, okay, yeah, I do got to give out, I do supposed to help the less fortunate, right? So you're going out and you're helping, right? But it's more out of deed than out of love, right? It says, I am nothing, right? So if it says that that's nothing, you know where that puts you? That puts you in the same place, right? That's still lukewarmness because now you're not even doing it out of love, right? You're just doing it because you know you're supposed to do it, right? Let's go to the third verse. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profit me nothing. You gave all your goods to feed the poor. You gave away everything you had to feed the poor. Hopped in the furnace, but you did it because you're supposed to. Ah, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm supposed to do this, man. Let me just go ahead and do it, man. Let me just go and knock it out, right? I'm supposed to do it anyway. It's not gonna work. Might as well not do it. Just don't do it. At least then you can be like, hey, I didn't do it, right? So that's a big thing I think right here in this message is getting that like choose really think about it, guys. Choose what you want to do. Make a decision. You can do it out of love and do it right, or just don't do it at all. Like, don't. Just go live life. Like, y'all remember what the world was like? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't gonna do it right, go back and do that. Okay, go ahead. That's it, man. You gotta have the love with it too. I said, just don't do it. Don't do it. So do it. And then too, like, you know what I'm saying? If because you gotta think about it. If your heart ain't right, then the fruit ain't gonna be right. It ain't gonna be right. So let's take a look at that. Let's go here to Matthew. Let's go Matthew 7:18. All right. It says, "A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth fruit, every forth, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into fire. Whereby, wherefore by the fruits ye shall know them." Right. So understand it. What's your fruit look like, right? If you lukewarm right now, and you like, man, I'm really trying to see where I'm at in this thing. I'm really trying to put some work in. Put some work in and see what your fruit look like, right? See what your fruit bear, right? Put some work in, see what your fruit bear, right? A good tree, it can't bear evil fruit. Corrupt tree can't bear forth good fruit, right? So if you know that, then all you gotta do is go ahead and put the work in, and then it'll tell you. That's your work. It's gonna tell you who you are by your fruit. Because sometimes we gotta be willing to judge ourselves, right? Let's see here. We're gonna just go to John 7:24, right? It reads, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment," right? People take this verse and you think, don't look at, what I'm saying, don't judge according to how someone look, judge, righteous judgment, judge on them, what they do, right? Yes. But before we can even get that far, who we gotta be able to judge? So righteous judgment starts within, right? You gotta be able to righteously judge yourself first, right? So you gotta be willing to truly look at yourself and be like, hey, what kind of fruit do I bear? Man, I just bit into this fruit that I bear, and this tastes like a Granny Smith apple. It's kind of sour. I thought I was a Honey Crisp, at least a John Gold. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was one of them sweet apples. I'm not. You know, willing to examine that, but then right? You know. Now I can get on the right path. Or now I know I gotta choose a side. I'm obviously I'm going the wrong way. Let's go back the other way. Right? Let's go here. Let's go to Sirach 128, Ecclesiasticus, how you want to call it. Right? So, distrust not the fear of Yahuwah when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so Yah discovers the secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of Yahuwah, but thy heart is full of deceit. Right. So when I first read this here, right, see that you can't come to Yah with double heart, right? You know, you can't come with a double mind, or and with that too, you can't come expecting something, right? Because that's a double heart too. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Because when we look at the first part of his voice, this is someone who's poor, so they're coming to Yah poor, like, I'm gonna keep the commandments. Maybe I won't be poor no more. Maybe I won't be this. But right, we gotta understand what this is really saying, though, right? Distrust not the fear of Yahuwah when thou art poor. Well, hold on, what's this really saying? If we go back to verse 27, it'll tell us, for the fear of Yahuwah is wisdom, and instruction, and faith, and meekness are his delight. So the fear of Yahuwah is wisdom. Rechange it then, right? Distrust not wisdom when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart, right? So don't think just because you in a bad position or you in a bad state that Yah's laws or Yah's word or his wisdom doesn't change, or I don't know about this. I'm not doing good right now. Don't let your situation cause you to be lukewarm, right? You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not where you want to be right now in this moment, this could just be it's the season, right? You never know what the Father's really doing. You never know why you're in this season, right? That's what this verse is really saying. Just trust not wisdom, right? That like don't don't think all of a sudden that Yah's commandments, his laws, his instructions are not there for you just because you poor and come out with a double heart. Don't come at it from a position of, oh, if I do this, he gonna do this for me, right? Now, chastening is good for growth. Exactly. He loves to be chastised, right? That's how you know he love you. He ain't on you, he don't love you. That's what it is. Accept the love. I'm trying to tell my kids that they don't be want to hear. I be on your head because I love you, and I'm gonna stay on your head. Don't forget it, all y'all. I know y'all in here listening. I'm on your head for that reason. Right? So, all right. And also with this too, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men. Take heed of what thou speakest, right? So say what you mean. Do what you say, right? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't just be out here speaking it because it sounds good. No, that's lukewarm. All this is lukewarm, right? It is. It is. I just saw a big message pop up with my name on it. I'm gonna take time to read that. We gonna read these last three. Give me 1 second. Let me find it again. All right, here we go. So, Elder Yahoo said, the problem is that people have confused the riches of the kingdom with those of the world. Poor doesn't just mean money. Yah cares nothing of that. That's why Yahusha said, give unto Caesar what is his, and unto Yahuwah what is his, and store your treasure in heaven, right? That's exactly it. Kingdom work. Don't get it confused, right? That stuff we're talking about, helping folks, giving them jackets out, feeding the poor, that's kingdom work. You're not gonna get nothing for that here. Talked about. So why they doing that? They always trying to do some of it. Don't worry about that. Nobody care about that because that ain't why we doing it. We doing it for Yah, right? This kingdom work. Uh, it is what it is. We're doing it for the kingdom. Appreciate that. There. So right. Don't be a hypocrite, right? You know what I'm saying? Do what you say you gonna do. Mm? Verse 30, right? Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon the soul. And so Yah discovers thy secrets and casts thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of Yahuwah, but thy heart is full of deceit. When I read that that right there is just more that's like more confirmation of like, hey, make sure you're doing this with the right heart. Because if you don't, not only is y'all gonna discover it, but then he gonna call out in front of everybody so that everybody can see, right? So don't think you gonna get away with this. God's gonna get you, and then he's gonna call it out in front of everybody, and everybody gonna see that you were being deceitful and that your heart wasn't right. That ain't what you want, cause first off, that's all you was doing it for in the first place, right? Was for that honor of the people, right? And now, boom, you done lost it and the kingdom. It's a lose lose. So I want to go back to a verse we touched on earlier, though. Let's go back to 1 Kings 18:21, right? I said 18. 18:21, right here, right? And it reads, and Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If ye be Yah, follow him, but if Baal, follow him. And the people answered him not a word, right? So when I'm looking at this verse, it's really that second line that I'm looking at there. How long halt ye between two opinions, right? When they're saying halt ye between two opinions, I wanted to look that word up, halt. I was like, what is that? Halt. Why is that there like that? You know what I'm saying? You know how you see a word in there that don't quite fit for real? It always make you want to just click on it, man. Like, what is that really? What's that mean? How long will you halt? Because that means stop between two. That make it seem like I stop, right? You halted. And when you look, it says to hop, that is skip over. By implication, to hesitate, to limp, to dance, to lame, to leap. Ancient Hebrew, to hop from one place to another. The ancient Hebrew gonna tell you what it is every time. To hop from one place to another. Boom. You going back and forth, right? How long are you gonna go back and forth between these two options, right? Choice is unavoidable, guys. You gotta make a decision. How long are you gonna keep bouncing back and forth, right? To halt, that's just refusing alignment. You just choosing that, nah, I'm not gonna go that way, but I'm not gonna go this way either. I'm not gonna, where you at? Because how far are you gonna go? Right. Yeah. So when you're looking at this, right, it's not about, it's not that, you just stuck in between the two decisions. They're hopping back and forth. They going from the truth back to Baal side, back to the truth. Now we keeping Christmas, back to the truth. Now we celebrating birthdays, back to the truth. But now it's 4th of July. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? How long will you jump between two options? How long? Choice is unavoidable. I'm gonna keep the lunar Shabbat, and the Saturday Shabbat, cause I'm not sure. So, fellas, let's go one more. Sirach, let's go. Oh, gotta switch back. Hold on, 1 second. Sirach 15:17, right? And it reads, before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him, right? So you got your two choices. You got your two choices right there. You got life, you got death, right? You get to make you got to make a choice. It's not choosing is death. Not choosing is choosing death. You know what I'm saying? So the choice is unavoidable, guys. If you going, you know what I'm saying? It's really simple. It really is. It sounds complicated, but it really simple for real. You got life on one side and death on the other. That's really it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here saying it as if it's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard, right? This is a hard thing that we talking about here. Why is it hard? Because you gotta. It's something. This is a fight. That's a daily fight, right? Let's go to Luke. You tell Malak he got one more time. Nah, go ahead. Just hmm. Right. 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 Exactly. Pick a side, man. Like it's not for the person you with that you choosing that side. No, you picking a side for y'all because here's the thing. Choose a side. If you chose wrong, but if you did it with the full extent of your heart and and you just, you know what I'm saying, you was wrong. He gonna look at that. He can see that. Like you gotta think when you being judged, that's between you and him. I don't know how he gonna look at that. I know it's a scripture that tells you to hold fast to what you know. So sometimes all you know is what you know. But if you held to that and you rocked out with that completely, hey, it is what it is. At least you can say, yeah, when he asks you why I do it this way, hey, because this is what I understood out of it. So I did it this way. Not, this brother said it was like this. This one said it was like this. I could make a decision, so I did both. What? This brother fine because he did it like this. This brother fine because he did it like this. And you're not because you would make a decision. Make a decision. You know? Back to my Luke verse. I don't even think I read. Did I read the verse? I don't think I read the verse yet. And it said to them, all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Right? So here's the thing right here. To be in lukewarmness, like it requires a level of self-deception, right? Because you have to be willing to tell yourself, like, nah, I ain't lukewarm. I beat that. I overcame lukewarmness. I beat that. You can't defeat lukewarmness overall. It's not a battle that, oh, I won against lukewarmness. I beat that battle. No, that's an everyday fight because you're gonna constantly have a new situation that arises that's gonna make you have to decide whether you going to, follow Yah in this moment, stand strong, make the right decision, go hot. You know what I'm saying? Or go cold, right? So it's an everyday fight, right? And stand on it. Exactly. Make a decision, stand on it. If you'll stand on it, man, hey, it is what it is. All right. Let's go here, Galatians. Galatians 6 and 7 says, be not deceived. Yah is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, right? So we gotta understand, like, most of he ain't gonna be impressed by no titles, no affiliations, none of that, right? It's gonna just be a heart check, right? That's all it's gonna be, a heart check. What's your heart like? You know? So let's not get caught up in any of that titles, any I'm with this group or you know what I'm saying? I'm with Torah and Besorah. No, well, no, listen, I ain't getting message over here, but I'm with Yahusha. If Yahusha tell me Torah and Besorah stop tomorrow, Torah and Besorah stop tomorrow, and I'm still rocking with Yahusha. Cause that's who I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Like all the rest of that's cool, but I'll tell you who I'm with. Right. So just understanding that you can't, you're not gonna trick the Most High, man. You're not gonna trick him, right? You're not. You know that. So you playing yourself. That's all you do is playing yourself. Let's go Micah 6:8. All right, and it says, He has shown thee, O man, what is good, and what doth Yahuwah require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with Yah, with thy Elohim, right? So we know what's good, right? So revamp, right? You can't, Yah can't be deceived, so you can't trick him, right? Into believing something that's not true, right? So you know that. He's shown you what is good, so you know what to do, right? So you can't play him as though he don't know, and he know you know, right? So you see the situation, that you really in. The way you know what I'm saying, you can almost look at it like a rock in a hard place if you want to. If that's how your brain had to take it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's kind of like that. Hey, you got you got Yah who can't be tricked. He gave you the laws and everything's right there. You know what to do. So you just decide not to do it. That's just on you. So if you hide, then you gonna burn with obedience, repentance, and truth, right? If you cold, be cold. Don't 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 pretend to be the light. Just love darkness. Just be cold. It's fine. It's fine. 2/3 gonna be cold. It's okay. But if you lukewarm, You're in the worst position for real. Like you're really in the worst spot because you out here faking like you one thing over another. Like don't be fake. That's really what this message is. Don't be fake. All right. Yeah, he'll correct us, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing something and you're doing it wrong, but it's out of error, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll correct you. You'll find out later that man, I was wrong. We was doing that junk. I was wrong. I used to fast on the Shabbat. Swore I was doing something good. I was doing it, every Shabbat, and I used to say, Most High, I'm gonna fast on the Shabbat and just increase my knowledge. Most High, I'm fast on the Shabbat, increase my knowledge. That's what I'm asking for my knowledge to be increased by fasting on the Shabbat. But you know what? Because I didn't know no better. He did it. And guess what? My knowledge increased. And I learned, boy, you're not supposed to be fasting on Shabbat. What is you doing? What is you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? But then now we go back and you laugh at it, right? That's what he talks about when it says in your ignorance he winks at it, right? He go back, he looking at you like, you see what you was doing, right? I let you make it because you tried, right? You tried, right? So is that thing, man? That's crazy, Clarence. Mine too, man. My wife was telling me the same thing. I don't think he's supposed to be doing that. She wasn't even reading the scriptures like that. But look. I be trying to say that to her. She really be in the scripts though. She really be in there. And that be the part though, right, Clarence? That be the part. You be like, she was right. Hey, they the wise be right sometimes, man. You know. But that's enough about them. That was their little shout out right there. Wise be right sometimes. There it is. We said it. It is what it is. All right, next verse. First Peter 3:15. Here we go. And it says, "But sanctify Yahuwah Elohim in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks of you a reason of the hope that is in you, with meekness and with fear." Right. So that's really avoid to stay out of lukewarmness. Right. That's really all you gotta do. Sanctify Yah in your heart. Right. You know, one day you gotta give an account for everything you said, did, and then I realized, I think I knew it, but I just didn't process it right. I processed it the other day. It's not just what you say and what you do, it's also what you think. Because y'all knows your thoughts. So be careful what you think. Try to get a hold on the stuff you don't say out loud, but you say in your head because you thought nobody heard it. Oh, you heard it. You got to give account for that stuff too. So just, what I'm saying, understanding that if we sanctify ourselves in Yah, though, right? Then we don't have to worry about that sense because we won't be lukewarm. We're just gonna, like it says here, give an answer, but we'll be able to give an account of whatever Yah has given us, right? You don't have to think about it in that moment. When I make my messages, I make my verses, I put a couple little notes in, but like he give me really what to say for real. Like he gives you what to say. So that's what I got for y'all here today, man. Don't be lukewarm. Stay away from lukewarmness. Just choose. Be hot or cold. Be hot or cold. And that's the message I got for y'all here today. And I will pray us out. See here. Abba Yahuwah, thank you for this day. Thank you for gathering us all here together on the Shabbat. I pray this message was able to reach at least one person to help with lukewarmness. Yeah, help me with lukewarmness. We just pray that everyone has a great rest of their Shabbat day. In your son Yahusha's name I pray. Amen.